Over the Memorial Day weekend, millions of us, we all honored the heroic service of the brave men and women that died defending our freedoms, our liberties, and our country. For many families, it was a somber weekend of remembrance for those loved ones who made the ultimate sacrifice. When we do quietly reflect on the blessings that are liberty, that we all kind of usually take for granted if we're honest, so many people made the ultimate sacrifice for all of us. But for Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, it's just a nice long weekend. Have a great long weekend. No Joe and no Kamala on Friday. Biden kicking off the national holiday, tweeting a picture of himself with an ice cream cone and a caption that reads, "Stay cool this weekend, folks." And not to be outdone is Kamala Harris tweeting a picture of herself, smiling from ear to ear. Enjoy the long weekend, with no mention of why we have a long weekend, which would be Memorial Day whatsoever. That kind of brings back memories of Obama. He didn't know the difference between Veterans Day, Memorial Day. Remember, he referred to Navy corpsmen. He did it 3 times in one speech. And the DNC, which tweeted out this celebratory Memorial Day picture of Obama with an ice cream cone in 2015, well, we honored our fallen soldiers and then celebrated the long weekend by staying cool at a French restaurant in Washington, D.C. called Les Diplomates. And on Friday, Joe also spoke to our military members in a base in Virginia, but his prepared remarks went off the rails when Joe made more creepy remarks about a very young girl in the audience. Then, of course, he stammered and stumbled and bumbled like he usually does. But, yeah, this was particularly creepy.
I'm especially honored to share the stage with Brittany and Jordan and Nathan and Margaret Catherine. I love those barrettes in her hair, man. I tell you what. And look at her. She looks like she's 19 years old, sitting there with her, like a little lady with her legs crossed.
Okay, that kind of makes my skin crawl. Don't know about you. If it doesn't, I don't know what will. At least we have improvement. No hair sniffing, no unsolicited back rubs like usual. Meanwhile, Vice President Harris, she had a cringeworthy moment of her own during a commencement address at the U.S. Naval Academy on Friday. She obsessed about green energy, made a woke joke that almost nobody found funny except for her. And then she did what she usually does. Starts laughing, somewhat uncontrollably, somewhat uncomfortably. Look.
You are electrical engineers who will soon help convert solar and wind energy into power, convert solar and wind energy into combat power. And just ask any Marine today, would she rather carry 20 pounds of batteries or a rolled-up solar panel? And I am positive she will tell you a solar panel, and so would he.
It wasn't funny, and I don't think they got it. With China, Russia, Iran all teaming up, an unholy alliance against the U.S. and every country besides them in the Middle East, meaning the Iranians, waging war, cyber attacks, proxy wars around the world, members of our military facing serious challenges. Woke Kamala seems more interested in solar panels and the fight for social justice. It's not only tone deaf, but also kind of scary and chilling. Hostile actors in Russia just pulled off what is a second major cyber attack. First, it was against America's largest oil and gas pipeline system, impacting the entire east coast of the United States. Biden did nothing. Now the world's largest meat supplier has been disrupted again, according to reports by Russian hackers. JBS processes a quarter of America's beef, 1/5 of our country's pork, and they operate a couple of dozen chicken processing facilities all across the country. Matter of fact, they probably have fed every one of you watching tonight. That's not good, and it means that already high meat prices, they're just going to get higher and higher and higher. So, Joe, you're president. What the hell are you going to do to hold the Russians, this hostile regime, this hostile actor, Putin, accountable? And sadly, it appears that Joe, per usual, is going to do nothing. In fact, his one-on-one meeting with Putin, now it's still on the books for June the 19th. Make no mistake, and let me go on record up here and just lay it out. This summit's a bad idea. Putin will be assessing, and he's not going to see Joe through the prism of the media mob and big tech. He will be assessing Joe Biden, and I'm pretty confident he'll come to the same conclusion that many of you have, that Joe is weak, he is frail, a total, complete cognitive mess, and a hollow shadow of his former self. And Putin will use that firsthand assessment and walk all over him and the U.S., and he probably will leave laughing at our country and leave emboldened, feeling he can get away with anything. For once, I would argue, Joe needs to take his little sippy cup, go to the basement, take a nappy. If he's really good, we'll give him a bedtime story. Meanwhile, according to an explosive report from the New York Post, in 2015, the vice president, then Biden, was a regular at this D.C. hotspot where he frequently met with his son's sketchy foreign business partners. That includes oligarchs, other individuals from Ukraine, Kazakhstan, and Russia. Which brings us to a couple of serious unanswered questions. Why was the vice president meeting with zero experience hunters, sketchy business partners? And why did Joe lie again and again and again and again and say he's never discussed his foreign business dealings with Hunter? Clearly, those foreign nationals were paying for access. Did Joe get a cut? You know, where's the special counsel looking into this corruption? So is the corrupt Biden family syndicate business now impacting America's foreign policy? And is anybody in the media mob, will you ever once actually build up a little bit of courage, ask Joe the questions that you know you'd be asking every second, every minute, of every hour of every day if it was Trump? Of course, you'll need to head to Delaware and shout the question from the beach, because tomorrow, Joey is taking his sippy cup back to his beach house, marking the 12th trip to Delaware in 4 months. Now, keep in mind, he only starts his day at 9:30, starts getting ready for Betty by at 7. He's never seen this show that I know of as president. Zero experience Hunter is now under a criminal investigation, but he's a liberal. He'll probably get away with it. Only conservatives get life in jail for jaywalking. Of course, Hunter's charges, international money laundering, tax fraud. But outside the New York Post, Fox, a couple of other outlets, Biden is protected by the Democrats, the media mob, and, of course, big tech. People that pretend to be journalists. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.